look what he did. He said to me, he can count backwards. He went 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's just Damien showing that he's technical as well as editorially magnificent. There you have it. Coming shortly, we'll take you into America. In fact, we take you to California, to our sister city in the USA, with Denise Drumbaker of Southern Pines. And we'll be hearing musical wonderment from this part of the world and arts exchanges and all of that. And we'll be but that's coming after rugby. And Sean, where are you, Sean? Sean Farrell from Newry Rugby Club is with me now. How are you?
How you doing, Rowan?
Good to see you. All good?
Yep, everything's very good.
Right, women's rugby. What is this about? Is this some sort of titillating business, or is it serious? What's it all about?
Well, start with the club had a women's team a couple of years ago.
You got rid of them, of course.
Well,
how wise of you.
It sort of fell to one side.
Well, yeah, I tell you.
Last year, the girls all got together and formed a team and actually went out and won their development league.
But seriously, Sean, could you seriously have a romantic dinner with a woman who was a prop forward or whatever?
You wouldn't argue with her.
You wouldn't. That's the point. You wouldn't argue with her. What do you do, for goodness sake? But there you are. But seriously, I jest. But seriously, it is a serious enough thing, and people do have to take it seriously.
It is a serious enough thing. Like we're trying to drive it forward as much as the seniors and the youth. Like we're a relatively small club, so we're always looking for new members, whether that be senior men's, ladies, or anything else. And
is it a diversion, perhaps? And I'm half joking again, because you're so bad at the rugby, the men, that you divert the attention of the people by saying, look at the women playing.
Well, at the minute, the women are actually winning more than the men.
And they're playing the men.
So
I have to admit to you, I know very, very little about rugby, because I remember going to a wonderful dinner one night, and I was a VIP at it, and we were been seated at the top table, and this fella about your size, and he came to sit at the table. I said, hello, how are you? My name is Rowan. It's nice to meet you. He said, I'm Tommy. Nice to meet you. And I said, that's great. He said, and what do you do? I said, well, I'm here in relation to my African charities. He said, oh, yes. I said, what do you do? He says, well, I play rugby. I said, who do you play for? He says, Ireland. I'm Tommy Bow. I didn't know he was Tommy Bow. How would I have known? You know, nice lad.
He is.
Yeah, he's a nice lad. And he more than anyone personifies for me what rugby's about. It's about strength, but that's not where he is. He is strong, but he's not going to be in the middle of the dirt. He's going to be positioned outside the dirt.
That's it.
And once the ball is ding, and it bang, he's gone, and it's happening.
He's a back though. I'm a forward.
Are you?
Yeah.
And what does that mean?
We do all the dirty work, and the backs get all the joy.
Is that why your ears are deformed?
That's one excuse.
No, but seriously, but I mean, you see them. I saw people on the Lions tour. They had ears literally like cauliflowers.
That's it.
Well, bloody things, you know. But these become a kind of an aphrodisiacal sexual attraction for women because they're getting a real alpha male, aren't they?
Well, that's it. You're getting stuck into the middle of it all.
It's
no
great.
fear.
No fear. Here we go for it. How old is the club up the road at your own Newry club?
The club is going now. It's almost 100 years officially.
Really?
Yeah, and a lot of people don't know that. It's one of the reasons why we're trying to do a bit of PR and get it out there. Like you're still hearing a lot of people didn't know Newry had a rugby club, didn't know it.
How did it start, Sean? What was the genesis?
Well, it just really was a group, like any club, a group of guys got together, had an interest in a certain sport. And
were they aristocrats or were they of the proletariat?
You would have said probably back then you're talking the 1920s. It would have had that, I suppose, that elitist think about it. But nowadays it's a far wider and open club. It's not. It's the guys are working men and working women and they're trying to put as much time into the club as they can, and it's wide open to there's no I suppose barriers there that maybe people have the perception that there was before.
What about feeder schools for the club? Feeder rugby. Do they play rugby at the Abbey or St Coleman's? I don't think so. It's all Gaelic.
There is a team that runs about there. It's not, I suppose, as high up the rankings as maybe the Gaelic or the soccer in certain clubs, but this year is going to be a big year probably for Newry. Is that there's for 2 years there's going to be an Ulster Development Youth Officer. He's actually originated from Newry, played for Ballynahinch, has worn Ulster jersey and Ireland. It's Johnny Graham.
Yeah.
And he is going to be going into the schools now really to push it. officially there is no real feeder clubs like a lot of the other.
You see, I have this. Maybe I'm an innocent abroad. I feel intuitively that I am, but I have this notion that things like political progress will occur in our country when there is playing as much rugby in the Abbey and Coleman's as they are in Newry High, and that they're playing hurling in Newry High and hockey at Coleman's. And if we can't actually get down that road, we're not even on the road to peace. And it would make such a difference. It's a bit like an All-Ireland soccer team, with so much more strength. But really, you're drawing almost exclusively from half of the community at the moment for rugby. In terms of school.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't necessarily say that. Like, a lot of the guys are coming from. It's a very diverse club. A lot of the guys have a Gaelic background.
Oh no, I'm agreeing with you on that. But what I'm saying is, there's no formal structure within the Catholic schools for rugby that will allow you to access players who are coming through from that genre, from the Gaelic end of things. And anyway, that's another story for another day. But the Fiddler's Green, you're down at the festival. Things are going to occur there.
Well, that's another thing that people have maybe has been lost in the ether. That we've been down there. This is going to be our 21st year as part of the Fiddler's Green.
You're joking.
No, I'm not. We're hiding.
You've been keeping your light hidden under a bushel, I tell you, big time.
So this is the 20. It really started out as a bit of a social thing between the club.
Yeah.
A lot of the guys would have been from Australia and said, "Sure, why don't we go down?" And
absolutely.
We took a pitch up at the Cabroni Park, and the guys had a bit of a match, and it's developed. And now we're bringing in teams from all over to play it. Now the unique format is, at the minute, we're the only full contact 10s rugby. You hear a lot of 7s. 7s would be a popular format.
Hold on a minute, you've lost me a wee bit there.
Yeah.
Full contact 10s.
Yes.
I thought rugby by its nature was full contact. Anything else is namby-pamby and not really rugby.
You can have tag rugby.
That's not really rugby. You're not involved in that, are you?
Well, the guys run it more for fitness and trying to bring guys into it's run on a Wednesday out at the club, but so it is.
Yeah, but that's a fitness thing.
It's more of a fitness, but it gets the basics of rugby are there, and it's a good way of somebody that maybe has an interest in rugby but doesn't want to go out onto the field and get mangled on the first game. They have a chance to.
You're the cut of a person who could do a bit of mangling yourself.
I've been known to.
Have you? What do you say to a guy who can mangle you? Hello, sir. How are you? Is there the kind of gamesmanship that he was up to, that Damien fellow in the Gaelic, giving people insults about their mother and things like that before you even start to play, so that you've got the upper edge on them?
Obviously, the again, where rugby sort of differs, you don't really get stand beside a man until he has the ball.
Yeah.
So,
but you're really gentlemen, aren't you? Wow. You're doctors and solicitors and.
Not at all. The gentleman stops as soon as you walk across that line.
I think so.
So.
Where were you on the dropping of the great O'Driscoll?
I think. I think his time was up.
Aye.
I think he was taken as a token, I suppose, to his own self, but it all went wrong. It wasn't handled right. It could have been handled a lot better, and I think he probably knew himself, realised after the whole thing was over.
To Brian's credit, to Brian's eternal credit, he didn't utter a bad word about the manager, about the coach. Not a bad word.
He never reacted. So in one way, that would maybe say that he was in agreement to it from the start. The media had built him up to a point where he was going to take over the captaincy, and then when he was dropped, they had to backtrack, and that's sort of.
You see, that's the thing. The media can either love you or hate you. You come in here today, you're sitting on the sofa, you're in a beautiful kind of relaxed atmosphere. I'm making you appear a gentle and wonderful and loving human being, when really you're an animal on the rugby pitch. No?
Yeah, well. That has been known too.
It's that thing you said about being a gentleman, and then it all ends there.
That's it. All ends there. I've been known to get a few yellow cards. I think I'm trying to catch up on Damien.
Yeah. But it's Newry. Will you be the full week of the festival down there? Have you a series of matches on?
No, it's there's a series of matches on. It's basically on the 27th of July. Kick off at 1 o'clock. There's going to be a schedule of teams playing the 10s format. There's two different competitions. There's the senior boots, which is the I suppose the serious the league, and then there's the junior sock, as we call it, which is more of a social sort of team event. Yeah. It's just really leave it open. And then there's the ladies 10s as well. So there's going to be there's about 50 games in total runs on that day. Now they're not full 40 minutes. What they are is they're 10-minute halves in order to get the thing turned around. And
I understand.
And they're playing on about a third of the size of the pitch. But it means it gets good fast flowing rugby. Yeah. And it's good to watch and good enjoyment.
Are you still playing serious rugby?
I'm still playing, yeah.
Yeah. So and it's do you get the same thrill out of it today? The speed, maybe you're slowing down, I don't know, but there's that stop laughing, Damien. Stop it. But he said, no, but that joy of the moving of the ball swiftly from going for the try and putting your boots in the face of the fellow who tries to come down at your heels, that sort of stuff. But I mean, do you lose any of that as the years go by? No,
there's always that rush when you get onto the field and get going. Yeah. It's very hard to move away from it. I wouldn't be one to stand on the side of the pitch and watch it. It drives me nuts. So I prefer to get stuck in, and I've got a few broken bones to show for it.
How many broken bones have you? We'll go through them. The clavicle?
Bad ones. No, I haven't broke it yet.
No.
I've broke my hand.
Wow. Was that?
That was in my youth.
Were you defending or were you
I was accidentally hitting somebody.
Accidentally hitting somebody. You're not supposed to do that.
Well, the referee didn't see it.
No, I tell you, I've seen a bit of that going on too. Yeah.
I've broke my ankle. I still have a plate in it, and I've broke my cheekbone. I have a plate in it. So it's that's the major one.
Sean, did you put him through the scanner before he came in? Because he could disrupt the TriCaster. I tell you, he could be an enemy from within. I tell you.
A few broken ribs and other minor incidents. A lot of stitches. So
this is mad, and this is fun.
Yeah. The other guy's always worse.
Yeah. I want to tell you, in the last minute and a half, with your litany of awfulness, you've earned my consummate and ongoing respect, sir. I'll never cross your path, ever. And I'm sorry of what I said about your ears and stuff like that. I'm sorry. You're a beautiful man. God bless you. How do people join Newry Rugby Club?
Well, we train on a Tuesday and Thursday night at 7 o'clock. We actually brought in a fitness and conditioning coach this year. Yeah. And basically, if you have any interest in it at all, come out. Just come up. Yeah. Like, we're more than welcome.
Does the class of woman that you want, does the thick part of her leg need to start at the ankle?
Not at all.
Seriously, but do you need big women?
No,
you know the sort that roar at you with their hairy heads like Brillo pads.
The rugby in itself is open. I suppose it's maybe unique in some sports that it's open to everybody. There's always a place in that field for
really.
Yeah, no matter.
And as we were saying earlier about Tommy Bowe, he's not the big tough elephant of a man in the middle of the scrum.
That's it.
He's positioned to do the running. So if you're fast enough, you keep out of trouble.
That's it.
Yeah.
Although I want you to go well. He finds it difficult to keep out of trouble too sometimes.
I know. God love him. But have you a website?
We'll have a website.
What's it called?
It's www.newryrugby.com, and it's up there. There's also a Fiddler's Green website as well, specifically for the competition. Yeah. So it's fiddlersgreenrugby.com. So it's
fiddlersgreenrugby.com or newryrugby.com. So that's as good as it gets. Guys, we stood by for music. What are you going to play me? What are you going to give me, Sean? We got some music now. Thank you.
No bother. Thank you, Ron.
God bless you.
Cheers.
Go well. Paul Brady. Yeah, let's go for Paul. America.